Alright, so this is the passenger side headlight. Pulled all the bulbs out, wires and all that. We're going to install these eBay RGB rings, color change, flash and all that stuff. Right now I got the oven preheating, 220. So we'll stick that in there for 8 minutes or so. That'll heat up the silicone enough to pull the lens off. And then I think I'm going to go ahead, paint everything black in there. That's reflective except for the headlight part, obviously. But the signal and this little marker light, I'm going to paint that black. Install the rings, and then hopefully it all goes back together correctly. Okay, it's out of the oven. Wear gloves. What you're going to do is take a screwdriver, kind of wedge it in there. It's hard to do one-handed. And just start peeling it apart like that. So I'll do all that and come back. Okay, so here you can see, still pulling it apart. Try not to get any of the glue on the reflective part. Kind of be a pain in the ass to put back together. What I'll do is I'll just take some silicone or caulk or hot glue or something and stick this back together when I'm done. But that actually stayed on there by itself, and that's the only part I didn't want to paint, so I got lucky. It looks like this all unscrews, and I can just take it out, paint this whole chrome piece and put it back in, so I won't have to tape anything off. So that'll be the next step. Okay, another thing you want to do while the glue's still kind of warm, take a screwdriver and scrape out what you can out of this. Another thing you could do is heat this back up when you glue it together, but I don't want to mess with it while it's hot, so I scraped out what I could. I'll put new stuff in there. That's the lens with the reflective part removed, and then I popped out these two pieces, so I don't have to tape those off either. But yeah, I mean, this whole piece is what I wanted to paint, so that's a really good design for me. So we'll go paint it, and we'll come back and put the rings in. Okay, so I ran the wire through for the ring. What I did, I took this thing here out, one screw on the back right there, and just ran the wires through the hole and then put that back in, so it'll be out of the way of the light bulb. And I mean, it's loose, so it's not getting pinched or anything like that. One thing we will, well, no, that rubber seal will probably just squeeze around that okay. So now I gotta try to figure out how to mount it. Usually how I do these, I'll put a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place, and then I'll mix up some JB Weld to kind of stick it in there. It's not real noticeable in the end. You can use super glue, but the bad thing with super glue is when it dries, if you've got it somewhere where you don't want it, it's going to have that white milky film to it. So I wouldn't recommend it, but that does work also. Alright, so I just went ahead and hot glued them in there. Stuff dries pretty clear, so it's not real noticeable when it's done. I've done it this way a couple times and it's been fine, except on my stunt bike. I guess all the slamming down and stuff, it broke off inside of there and I had to take it out and redo it. But it's not perfectly centered, but it fit on there real flat in the spot it's in, so it should be pretty easy to make it like that on the other side. So now we're ready to glue the lens back on after the clear coat dries and stick it back on the car, and then we'll buff it later. Alright, so here's the inside of the housing painted black. It's just some spray paint from the auto parts store, not the cheap stuff. No clear, it's a gloss black. And I also took the lens cover, or the lens, that part, and hit that with some clear coat because mine are kind of faded. So I'll show you that in the end result, but it's another thing you can do. I didn't sand any of this stuff, just sprayed it, so it should hold up, hopefully. Okay, so here it is, painted black, just a light coat of clear. That's why it kind of looks like shit right now. I'll put a couple more and then I'll probably buff that out should shine up really well. It's obviously kind of hazy right now, but just put a light one on so it would stick, and then I'll make her heavy on the next one. So lens is on. Like I said, I'll still have to buff that clear later, but not too bad. Anyway, that's finished product. I'll throw them on the car along with that new grill over there on top of the M1. She's hiding. Hey girl. Anyways, get them on. I'll show you a video of that. Alright, so they're in. Change colors, whatever, you know. Red, flash, whatever you want to do. So that's that. Also got this grill from eBay. Not too bad. Just gonna do blue for now.